when them a use I am the front line. Sure. Youth force, it's your time. Just a foreign call you. Yeah, the most I call upon the young, you know. King Selassie, I call you.
Oh gosh, sorry about that. Yeah, make sure technically we're okay. We're good to go. 25 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock. And of course, I see where my brother Raseku is up as we approach. Well, he hasn't come up fully yet. But are you there, my brother?
Yes, I'm.
All right, welcome. Just want to remind persons that this is the Wise Man of Emperor Haile Selassie on the Rootsology Book Club. Raseku has become an official family member of ours. He is absolutely the CEO of Frontline Distribution and Bookstore. And for the past months, we've been doing some amazing work regarding our what do you call it? Our book club. Yeah, Rootsology Book Club. So I just want to make sure, my brother, can't we see you? Are you able to do your video this morning? Would love to see you. Are you hearing me? Hello? I was just hearing you. My brother? Greetings?
Greetings.
Are you hearing me, Raseku?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. But did you want to bring up your video so we can also see you?
Let me see what's happening with this.
Yes. I don't want to stress you out too much. But I know you were on video a little while ago.
Yeah, you see me now?
Not yet. But we continue because we recognize that it's African Liberation Month. And so, definitely the wise mind, we're dealing with the African perspective from His Imperial Majesty. And, I just want to say that, the book club is so very important to me and a lot of listeners and yourself because you actually have a bookstore. And you recognize based on our backgrounds how important reading is. I grew up in that kind of a house. If anything should happen in my home, I'm not going to run with my shoes. I'm not going to run with my clothes. I'm running with my books. That's what I pack first, my books. Because to me, that is, they say when an elder transitions, it's like a whole library has been burnt down. That's a saying they have. So we recognize how important books are and how important even the wise mind is, because many years ago, of course, I started to put these sayings of His Imperial Majesty from the wise mind up on my Facebook page, and people were so amazed and loved it and everything, and I just kept doing it every day until now we started with the Marcus Garvey book, and then now we're into this book. So how are you feeling this morning, sir? Still not seeing you, but go right ahead. Raseku? I don't know what's going on with Raseku this morning. Hello? Raseku? Good morning.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, and we're seeing you now.
Yes.
Just bring the camera down a little bit so we can see your full face. Yes, or
Okay.
go back.
All right, good.
Yeah,
good.
man. Some more. We need to see your whole face.
Yes.
That does it.
That does it? Okay,
yes.
wonderful.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for being with us once again.
Yes.
As we celebrate African Liberation Month. And of course we talk, of course, the wise mind of Emperor Haile Selassie. Of course, we want to talk about definitely, Ethiopia and Africa, with regards to this particular theme. So with the book, we understand that we did peace, not fully, but what we're doing is taking out the different themes or chapters that suits the particular month. And I did say to you last evening, that what we're going to do, we'll finish off the rest of this month for African Liberation Month. And then next month, we're going to go to the Promised Key with Leonard Howell, because he would celebrate his birthday on the 16th of June. And then we go forward. We go forward to the Wise Mind, because July is such a very important month, of course, for His Imperial Majesty, July 23rd, the anniversary of his birth. And then where you are rebranding the book, and you'll be here in Jamaica. So, it is very exciting. And you're bringing students, which is really even more exciting. you're going to be having students who are coming to be part of that
Yes.
workshop and that
Yes. So,
tour.
we're going to be having the fourth summer
Mm-hmm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
I will be there along with the students
Mm-hmm.
to talk about Gavi
Right.
and connecting Bob Marley with Gavi.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, the wise mind. I marked a spot here. As we enter African Liberation Month, and okay. I guess I need to go into this one, independence, but it says Africa has been reborn as a free continent, and Africans have been reborn as free men. The blood that was shed and the sufferings that were endured are today's Africa's advocates for freedom and unity. Goes on to say, since freedom is an issue upon which national existence itself depends, it becomes a sacred obligation of primary importance for people of one family, united in their own common life and in oneness of mind and spirit, to preserve their free and pleasant way of life from all external danger, and thus being able to advance along the path of progress. Yesterday was Read Across Jamaica Day, and I saw the Bob Marley Foundation in particular doing some major work in different schools, including Sadella Marley, to, just to have that whole idea of reading still be very important. We're not having enough reading, and we want to bring back a whole vibration of reading. I just love to be able to hold a book and run the pages through. People say you can go online and so forth. Yeah. But I just love to have my book. That's why the book is so raggedy at this time, because I always have to love to have it in my hands. Your comments now about African Liberation Month
Yes.
and Wise
Well,
Mind.
well, this is a very pivotal month, the month
Yes.
of May 24th, May 25th.
Yeah.
We celebrate African Liberation Day. It is the remembrance of the Organization of African Unity,
Mm-hmm.
which was formed by the foundational members of that organization, um, including Ethiopia and Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
Guinea, Tanzania, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So we continue to celebrate it, even though the organization name has since
changed.
been changed
Yeah.
to the African Union.
Right.
But however, what the piece you just read is very, very pertinent
Mm-hmm.
and relevant in this time, especially as Africa is now coming of age.
Mm-hmm.
We are now seeing a new change in the dynamics of the politics of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing young people in Africa taking possession of taking things into their own hands and saying no more for the new colonialists, no more for French imperialism, no more for British imperialism, no more for US imperialism. They are now taking it in their own hands. We have seen over the last 2 years, 3 years, we have seen changes in the governments of Guinea. We have seen changes in the government of Niger. We have seen changes in the government of Burkina Faso. We have seen changes in the government of Mali. And these have brought forward younger men who have taken power, political power, via military means, but is working in conjunction with the masses of African people on the ground. And
Yes.
yet, they are now saying that they are no longer wants to have French colonialism, who has been draining and sucking the blood of the masses of African people in Francophone Africa. They are no longer saying they no longer want to deal with what we will call British and imperialism, US imperialism, and so on. They are now saying, if you want to deal with our cocoa, if you want to deal with our coffee, you need to come here on the ground and set up factories here. No longer should we be sending out our cocoa and our coffee to Europe to get it back, to buy it back at expensive prices, to create employment for the people of France, to create employment for the people of Belgium, to create employment for the people of England. They are saying, we set up the factories here where the cocoa is, where the coffee is, where the gold is, and so on. and therefore create employment for us here, and we will determine how much percentage you will get, since we are the ones with the raw resources, with the raw minerals,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Mm-hmm.
So Africa is taking a new turn. Kwame Nkrumah Osachifo said it from time. He said long time ago that Africa has all the resources that it needed. It's right under our feet.
Right.
And here it is. Africa is still one of the most richest countries,
Mm-hmm. I'd
or
say
the
the
richest
most
continent,
richest
the
continent,
most
yeah,
richest continent in the
in the
world.
world.
Yet the people of Africa continue to be poor and suffering. This has to change. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing the change is taking place right before our eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Globally, I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing Africa, the young people of Africa are taking a stronger position, being more involved. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm happy for that. So
Right.
Africa is on
On
a new
point, yeah, trajectory.
point, is
Mm-hmm.
on a new paradigm
Mm-hmm.
shift, right? We've seen a new
So,
paradigm shift in Africa today, and
right.
I'm happy that we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing changes, and that
Mm-hmm.
is what we need to determine. We need to control our land, right? And that is
Mm.
what is the most vital thing, because land is the most important thing we have. We have to stop leasing out, giving foreigners our land, and we need to keep the land and
Mm-hmm.
give it out and lease it out in short-term leases from 25 years and up leases and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So Africa is taking that position, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to be part of and to be
That
here
growth,
on the
yeah.
planet at this time
Yes.
to see it
Right.
happening.
You know, back to the wise mind of Emperor Haile Selassie the First, which is our book for the Rootsology book club this month. On the chapter of independence, he goes on to say the glories and advantages of freedom cannot be purchased with all the world's material wealth. Freedom's price is a sacrifice of the lives of innumerable heroes, and in deep realization of this, it becomes the duty of free men everywhere to be ever prepared for the defense of their freedom. Every nation that fights as we have done for the defense and maintenance of its independence has the right to expect the honor and indeed the assistance of all freedom loving peoples. It,
Yes.
yeah,
Very,
go ahead.
very, very, very crucial piece, a very
Mm-hmm.
pertinent piece today as it was then, but even more so today because we're seeing the fight of our people, of our young people, taking the power into their hands. Because every revolution in the world, including the revolution in North America here in 1776, was for land. The
Mm-hmm.
revolution in Haiti in 1803, 1804 was for land. So we see the importance of taking over and controlling your own land. And that is what is the most vital piece here today
Mm-hmm.
when we look at Guinea, when we look at what is happening in Burkina Faso, when we look at what is happening in Azania, South Africa, we see
Mm-hmm.
it out the young brother Julius Molemo.
Mm-hmm.
He is talking about economic freedom, and because although the people of South Africa, Azania, had gotten economic independence under the ANC and Mandela,
Mm-hmm.
the people of South Africa is still suffering economically in a worse state that they were under apartheid. So now we need to have
Mm-hmm.
economic independence. And that should be the cry
Mm-hmm.
for economic independence throughout Africa, throughout the Caribbean, throughout South and Central America. We need economic independence. We need liberation now.
Mm-hmm.
We need to take our future into our hands. And no other
Absolutely.
people are more equipped for that than our young people.
Mm-hmm.
Africa has the youngest population throughout the world, and
The
therefore it
continent
is
has the youngest.
the
The whole continent is what you're
youngest
saying.
population in the world,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
1.2 billion people, with about 75 or 80% of those people being young
Young
people.
people. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's important that Africa take this call and make sure that we direct the young people towards independence,
Mm-hmm.
towards freedom,
Mm-hmm.
towards liberation. It's a
Right.
very, very vital time for African people in the hemisphere. Give
Absolutely.
thanks.
Yeah. Goes on to say in the chapter, for those of us you who are following Independence, page 98, the strongest foundation of our independence is the development of our economic resources. Here you go. You just emphasize that. And this is, I mean, we're talking about now the same situation. Freedom, liberty, the rights of man, these mean little to the ignorant, the hungry, the ill clothed, the badly housed. Unless the political liberty for which Africans have for so long struggled is complemented and bolstered by a corresponding economic, here we go, freedom and social growth, the breath of life which sustains our freedom may flicker out. Those who seek independence must be prepared to struggle for it rather than accept it, and having won it, to stand on their own feet without dependence and without favors. Each nation has an inherent right to shape its own destiny and to seek its own way to the high state of advancement which the free nations of the world have attained. A foreign hand is concerned about itself. It will not work for us. Words of His Imperial Majesty. Wow, wise mind.
Very much
wise
on point.
mind.
Very much on point. Very much pointed, and very much relevant to this time. Very much relevant to this time that we must take charge of our own destiny wherever African people are, whether it's in North America, whether it is in the Caribbean, whether it's in South and Central America, and more so on our African continent. And we need to take, so we're going to see in the coming months, in the coming years, we're going to see the African youth taking control. And you're going to see they're going to be driving more of the foreigners out of Africa. So the French, will be, the days are numbered. The same way they destroyed Patrice Lumumba in 1963, we now see that what Patrice Lumumba died for was very vital, in that he died for the freedom of the Congo and for the freedom of African people across the continent and across the diaspora.
Right.
So we want to see that the youth say no more to France colonialism, no more to French neocolonialism, no more to British neocolonialism, no more to Belgium and Germany neocolonialism, no more to US imperialism, and start to take and shape Africa according to its own destiny, direct it in the way by the people of Africa will control its own resources, and therefore shape Africa on the right path, the path of development, the path of social progress, whereby we don't have to depend. Africa no need to depend on no other country in the world. Yes, we need to have we need to have partners, but it must be on an equal footing. It must not be where somebody is telling you, because they're giving you a few shillings, telling you how you must do, and who must sleep in your bed, and who must sleep in your bed, and stuff like that. We must move away from that, and we must move towards economic freedom. And this is a vital month this month also.
Very important.
Because we are now going to see the elections in South Africa. Right. South Africa is having an election, and we are hoping that Julius Malemo economic freedom fighters will take a large percentage of the votes.
Absolutely. We're rooting for that.
Who probably be ushered in as president of South Africa, and hopefully he will rename it Azania, because South Africa is only a geographical location.
Right.
We need to have we claim the old name as Zimbabwe reclaimed the old name. We want to reclaim the old name for Southern Africa and call it Azania.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at very much perspective, and economic freedom is the most crucial thing we need in this lifetime, because heaven is right here. Heaven and hell is right here. We cannot wait until you die to wait to get heaven. We need to have economic freedom, economic liberation. We need to have interdependency. Africa don't need anything. We need to cooperate with one another, and we need to drive. We need to drive the barbarians out of Africa.
And on that note, really and truly, we have to understand that Africa awaits its creators and creation. We cannot be alienated when it comes on to diaspora. Everything that you're saying there, Raseku, applies also to us who are outside. of the region, that we have to get more proactive. We have to get, more in tune with what's happening so we can also help to make the changes as well, which are so, so critical at this time. Critical points all over the continent.
I think it's very vital that the Africans in the diaspora, we must know and claim that we are Africans, and we must also make the effort to be part of what is going on, the changes going on in
Yeah,
Africa.
absolutely.
Because what until Africa is free, all Africans will not be free.
Yes.
So in order for us to be free in the West, wherever we are in the African diaspora, whether it's in North America, whether it's in the Caribbean, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in South and Central America, and whether it's in Europe, Africa has to be free.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It comes like when in 1949, when China had its revolution and the Chinese became a socialist republic, and China today is one of the most leading country in the world. Then where you hear before, you say here you couldn't have a Chinaman chance. That means because the Chinese man didn't have a chance because they looked down on the Chinese. Now today, all Chinese look towards the fatherland.
Yes.
They look towards the fatherland, which is China. And China is now a powerful country, and Chinese work proudly.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing with the African. The African, when Africa is free, all Africa and Africans all over the world will be free and will walk with strong and with their heads high up and know that we are free and we are liberated because the motherland is free. And Africans in no part of the world will not be free until all Africa is free and liberated and united.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
Give thanks. As we seal up here, we seal up with another paragraph from the wise mind of Emperor Haile Selassie I on independence. Those who seek independence must be prepared to struggle for it rather than accept it, and having won it, to stand on their own feet without dependence and without favors. Now, each nation has an inherent right to shape its own destiny and to seek its own way to the high state of advancement, which the free nations of the world have attained. A foreign hand is concerned about itself. It will not work for us, which I read before. And of course, independence cannot be a simple word devoid of meaning. It must remain a principle admitting of no compromise or suspicion, a principle demanding respect for self and at the same time equal respect for the rights of others. Our independence and freedom are meaningless unless they are tied to the hearts of our people. So said, and so must be done. My brother, I want to say thank you again.
Yes, I want to add a little piece to this.
Yes.
And to close it.
Yes.
We must be aware that flag independence is not independence. So when you get flag independence, as you have in the Caribbean, in Jamaica and Trinidad, etc., you have flag independence as you have in places like in Africa, like Ghana and so on and others. That is not enough.
That's not the authentic independence.
With flag independence must come economic independence and economic freedom and economic liberation.
Big time.
Right?
Big time.
Our people must be able to feed themselves. We must not depend on having to go to universities abroad. We must be able to have our own independent universities. Initially, yes, we could work and send our children to schools as you get scholarships to Cuba, to the Soviet, to Russia, and China and other countries. But we must work towards having our own independence, our own schools, our own institutions, and we must work towards becoming free from all chains of imperialism, whether it is British, whether it's whoever, British, American, and European, etc. We must break the chains of colonialism and neocolonialism.
Thank you so much, my brother.
We must strive for independence and destroy flag independence.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that concept, flag independence. Raseku Tafari, thank you so much for another Rootsology book club segment on the wise man of His Imperial Majesty. I want to remind people that they can get the book from iNation. Also, Miguel Lawrence Bookstore.
Miguel Bookstore. Yes.
You can get the book.
Bookstore.
Yeah.
You can get it there downtown.
Downtown.
Yes.
And just to remind you that in July, surrounding the anniversary of the birth of His Imperial Majesty, there will be a tour also to rebrand the book. And we're so looking forward to that when Raseku comes to Jamaica and the book is rebranded. And, of course, we will be in high celebration for that also. Thank you so much, my brother. Have a
Yes,
blessed
give
day.
thanks, my sister. Give thanks for all the work and give thanks for the strength.
All
Much love.
right. Much love, my brother. Take care.
Yes.
Yes, another. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to place them in on our live on Facebook, our live page, Denise Isis Miller on Facebook. And, we just give thanks, this read across Jamaica yesterday was so empowering to see the little youngsters reading along with their teachers. And today, being Teachers' Day, it should be continued. It should be continued. Okay, so we're going to take a commercial break right now before we go into our next segment, which is Mecwi Talk with our outstanding community broadcaster. She's back, Arlene Bailey. Soon come.
Denise, Isis Miller with Roots